When a parent finds out that their child is going to have Down syndrome, the first words they hear are, "I'm sorry." Nobody ever says, "Congratulations." What I want to do is to share with the world a narrative that is so far beyond, "I'm sorry." And for people to take the time to recognize that and embrace that can change your entire life's perspective. Being Jason's sister is the greatest privilege of my life. Jason finds joy in every moment. He challenges me every day to be a better person.
You're all kind, if you can be kind to yourself.
Wake up! Hey! Here's a ship!
When my brother was born, my mom did not know that he was going to have Down syndrome. The doctors whisked him away. They said to her, "Your son has Down syndrome."
Immediately, he went into a laundry list of there could be heart problems, his intestines may not be connected, this and that. He rattled off every possible thing that you could think of. So I think the first thought that goes to your head is like, oh my gosh, how's he even going to survive if he's going to have all these things going on? And the nurse came in and she said, you know, you don't have to take him home. I guess in their thoughts, the future didn't entail us keeping him. Best thing that ever happened was having him switch pediatricians. The other pediatrician was so compassionate. He had a patient, a little boy with Down syndrome who was 6 years old, and he said, his mom was going to come in and speak to you. And she came in, and she brought this photo book, and she said, look at him, you know, he's running, he's playing. There's a lot to be, you know, congratulated about.
My brother was one of the first individuals with Down syndrome in our school district. When you have a sibling with Down syndrome, you don't necessarily know who your people are. I started to see people abusing him. And Special Olympics was one of the first opportunities that we had to go and celebrate who Jason was. I think one of the areas that Special Olympics does a phenomenal job in is inclusive youth leadership. People with and without intellectual disabilities on equal footing, leading something together. And that really inspired me and gave Jason some new tools.
And I thought she's going to be arrested.
And it was the first time I had ever seen Jason take advocacy into his own hands. Just because he's wearing a cross doesn't mean he's the Pope. Is that why you posed with him?
Yeah. He looked like the Pope.
And he said, in a way he's never told me before, I've heard people call me the R word. And now I know that there's people that want to stand up to them with me. This short moment was so important.
I thought it was a good opportunity because it's like I am embracing my inner self.
When somebody with a disability stands up on their own and says, let me tell you from my perspective who I am and why I have great value, you can't argue with that. And that's really what we're trying to do with the Congratulations Project. The Congratulations Project was started in 2012. We put out a simple prompt to all of our campers at camp and said, we want you to write letters to new parents of babies with Down syndrome. You can write anything you want, whatever you feel like, it just has to start with the words, congratulations. And then from there, it's everything that the camper wants to share about who they are, about the hopes that they have for themselves, about the hopes that they have for this baby's future. And it was important that those words weren't coming from another parent, from a sibling. There's something so meaningful about it coming directly from someone with Down syndrome. I can't imagine what it would have been like if my mom didn't have that person come up to her and say, this is what your life could be like. And I hope we're able to create that experience for others.
Dear parent, congrats on your newborn baby. And my name is Jason.
And I am a camper at Camp Pals.
I am proud to be myself. I like to collect movies, and in the future, I want to be a movie critic.
I love my life. I love my family, my sister Rachel, she has Down syndrome too. She is perfect just like me.
Do not be scared to make a miracle happen, because this is your life and your baby will have a bright future.
Sincerely, Anna Rose Rubright.
Sincerely, John Kellis. It was the first piece of mail I opened in my home post-diagnosis.
I love seeing her handwriting. It showed me her personality. It showed me her strength. It showed me how capable she was.
What's up? Baby,
It just like gave me a connection to see what she could be like, and made her like a person, not some abstract thing that I didn't understand.
To know that this could potentially be Augie, a real person who's got dreams.
it's huge. It really is made a difference.
Being Marisol's mom has helped me be able to see people with intellectual disabilities as just people. Stop right there.
I think the hardest part about having a child with Down syndrome is not our child, it's the world that we're bringing her up in.
I'm hoping that in my lifetime, I can see him be accepted.
Children with Down syndrome and other disabilities really weren't included growing up in school.
Right.
You know, that's a big change now.
And a lot of the stuff now that exists with like Special Olympics, Unified Champion Schools, inclusive sports, the students themselves engaging.
The students immediately want to get involved.
They're not the problem. As soon as you give them the
Exactly.
opportunity, the entire community transforms. Growing up for Jason, a lot of the opportunities for inclusion and integration were something that I created as a sibling. Having Special Olympics Unified Champion Schools means there's a whole group of people that are making that possible for folks with intellectual disabilities. A home where they felt accepted and welcomed within their schools.
Oh, that's right.
If you can connect with other people, together you can build a more inclusive and accepting and welcoming place. We want to share joy, create welcome, and spread hope.